Hey guys, Russ Tyndall here with Blue Line CNC. Welcome to another channel video. Today we are going to discuss a problem that I have and I know you've had if you've dealt with wood for any length of time, and that's the expansion and contraction of your wood panels. You know what I mean. You pull your wood out of your clamps, or perhaps you flatten them on your CNC, and then you come back the next day or a couple days later and there's a bow to them. Well, I've got a solution for you and I think it might help you out, so let's get after it. In this video, we are going to talk about a problem that you probably have and that I've had for a long time, and that is the warping of wood after we do our flat panel glue-ups. And it all depends on the humidity of where you're at. I mean, sometimes I've noticed my panels bowing along the width of the grain as early as the next day. I come out after gluing them up and putting a coat of stain on them, and they're bowed. So I'm like scratching my head, what do we do about this? How do we resolve this situation? And this can even happen, you know, after you use your CNC to flatten it. And you've got a perfectly flat surface on both sides, and you know, you set your wood down for 24, 48 hours and you come back and it's got a bow to the wood. And it always happens across the grain, very seldom where your wood shrink or get larger lengthwise. But the solution that I've found that works for me is all has to do with bracing that workpiece or providing some supports ahead of time. And let me show you what I mean. Let me get the workpiece that I'm talking about here. This is a flag that I'm working on, and the flag itself is irrelevant. But what I'm talking about is these workpieces right here on the back. And I literally take this piece off the CNC once it's flattened, and immediately I'll give it a quick sand with a random orbital and immediately fasten these down with glue and brad nails and get these on there ASAP so it doesn't have an opportunity to bend. And then I think if you follow my lead on that, you're going to have some successful results. And I've done this 6 times already. I've got a pretty large project going on, and I have not had a single problem with the wood warping across the grain like I have in the past. But you have to do something. You know, this created some problems for mounting this panel on my CNC machine to do, you know, all this fancy engraving that I typically do. So I had to figure out a way to put this on the CNC machine and be able to carve my designs with these on the back, because this changed the way I do business. And let me show you the solution that I used there. So let's hop on over to the machine. Okay, so we're over at the machine, and I apologize for not putting myself in the picture, but that's okay, you don't need to see me. As you recall, in the past, I've taken my flags and I've laid them down on the spoilboard, just, you know, the 3/4 inch stock material, and I've butted them up to these TSO dogs here on the bottom of the flag surface and over here on the left, and I just position it accordingly, and I tighten down these clamps up across the top, these Armour clamps, and then I also use these Kreg clamps over on the right with these walnut spacers, so when the milling bit comes across, it doesn't interfere with the clamps itself, and that works real well. But when I put those supports on the back of the flag and laid it down, it obviously raised the surface up, and I had to figure out a solution to alleviate that. So what I've come up with is just, you know, 3 pieces of wood. They're not quite as thick as the flag itself, or the supports. They're shy by about 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch, so they set down lower, but they still provide adequate lateral support. So I've got a top piece, I've got a left piece, and a bottom piece. And the way my system works is I just put the left piece in first. I take the bottom piece in, align it up, slide it over there to the left, and actually the top can stay off for the moment. Let me get the flag. Then what we do is we take a flag, and as you recall, we've got these supports on here so you can kind of see how they sit on the back. This is the bottom, this is the top. They're perfectly centered on the back of the flag, and they're inside this distance, a specific amount. You'll have to figure out your amount for your project. And then I just lay the flag down in there, bring it up to these supports on the bottom, slide it over to the left. So essentially it's in the same position that it would be if I wasn't using these what I call assistance boards, and if it was sitting flat on the surface of the spoil board. And my offset hasn't changed, and it's just risen this project up the thickness of the supports on the back of the flag. So then now what I would do is I would just take this top piece, slide it in, and simply lock down these upper clamps, put in my walnut spacers again like I always do, except this time they're not touching this right edge of the flag, they're touching that surface of that support underneath. Lock these down. And like I said, your XY datum or your offset is still over here in the lower left, and you just zero off your material surface and you're good to go. Guys, I hope this little tip has been informational for you and you are able to put it to use in your workshop. If you like the content that I put out there, please hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new content. Until then, stay safe in your workshop, always wear your eye protection, your hearing protection, and we'll see you on the next video.